Alrighty, so this is our wall, I guess you can call it, that we're building. We're wanting to make it, waist high, something like that. But we just simply, I'll go down there in a minute and I'll show you. We just simply go down there to the creek, we get some rocks, put it around here. Our old dog is buried right there. So there was that. This is also a cemetery from who the world knows, at least, hold up a sec, I can tell you. This looks like it says 1896, so well over 100 years ago, 120-ish years. But there's some older than that. There's also another one up there. That one's a whole lot later. But we've seen someone there, 1850s, probably some earlier than that. But yeah, so what's the reason behind this? One, we can put flowers in there and it not spread. You can see there's some outside there that are spread. We don't want that happening. It is what it is. That's their normal way that they do. That's how they keep reproducing, which this is buttercups, by the way, sorry. That's one. Two, water drains off this hill. This is downhill a little bit. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's coming downhill. And so what it does is it puts water right here where we turn around. It turns us into mud. So, yeah, it'll rain on it, but that'll drain off a lot quicker than all that coming down the hill, because it comes down the hill for a couple days. So we can turn around good. 2, 3, it looks really nice. It's something that you can tell, hey, they've spent lots of time with it. So this is going to be 3 feet wide and about 3 feet tall is what we're wanting to do. You want it 3 feet wide because we're not going to use cement. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way, just because, why not? We don't plan on getting this done this year. It might be a this year and next year thing, and next winter. But we're gonna do it again up there. This one, if you can tell, it's really huge. It goes all the way around over there. We're halfway around, and we've already spent a month on it or whatever, just spare time. So that's kind of that right there. I'll go down there in a minute, and I'll show you where we're getting them from. Okay, I also meant to tell you, there's some that we don't throw in there because they're weird size, or, they're not desirable. We throw them down here in the ditch, which we have bad drainage problems and erosion. So we throw it in there and it catches dirt and it keeps the dirt from going. So I'm gonna drive down here right now and I'll show you where we get them from. Alrighty, so this is where I've been getting the rocks from, is right down here. If you can kind of look at it a little bit, if you're do anything with cattle, you'll know what this is. But this is what we call a stomping ground. Especially around here, we call it a stomping ground. Is what it is during the summer when it's hot, cattle are like us. They don't want to be hot. They'd much rather be as cool as they possibly can. And since they live outside all the time, they want to go to somewhere with lots of shade, lots of moisture, and mud, because mud happens to come with moisture. And so when they're down here, they trample around on this and it makes it into mud. Well, what happens is they push the mud down, but the rocks, since they cannot be pushed down as easily, they kind of, I guess you call, float to the top. And it's just they don't want to step on rocks. Rocks can break their ankles. And so they step everywhere but on the rocks, and so it pushes the rocks up. And that's kind of that thing, so one, you need to get rid of them anyways. Last couple years, we've been throwing them here in the creek. You can see we have a nice little creek, which needs to be dug out again, but that's a whole nother thing for another day. But me personally, I think that we had beavers for a little bit, that they didn't stay, but over the winter, this thing will rise another 4 feet maybe. Because we live in a valley, and so it has all that water coming down through there during the winter from when snow melts and everything else. But in the summer, this will be almost no water at all. it is that time of year. Everything's drying out. It is what it is. You know, in the summer we'll have little to no water. But yeah, so I get it from down here. We put it in the wagon back here. It's pulled by a little farm vehicle, I call it. But you know, it is an older wagon. It's probably older than I am. Well, it's definitely older than I am. But you know, put it in there, carry it up there, dump it. Dad usually stacks it because he's better at putting that type of stuff together than I am. But you know, it is what it is. So that's what it is. I mean, I always encourage you, you know, get out, you know, do something every once in a while at least, you know. You know, whether it just be picking up rocks and throwing them in the creek so that cattle don't step on them, making your yard look nice, you know, raking leaves, whatever it is that you want to do, just do something outside every day. It's what I try to do every day. And as Matt Carricker says, if you watch his videos on Off the Ranch, Demolition Ranch, and also Vet Ranch, he has a saying, do something today that'll make you better tomorrow than you were yesterday. And if it's not you, or I would add on to it, if it's not you, it might not make you better, but make your life better, make your property better, make something better today than it was yesterday, or make something better today that'll do better tomorrow than it was yesterday. So sorry this video was a little bit of a ramble, but it is what it is. So thank you. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You know, hopefully this will inspire you to do something on your property. If not, you know, thanks for watching. Alrighty, have a nice rest of y'all's day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Alrighty, so guys, I'm going to suggest one more thing. I thought I should do this really quick. I was going to make another load, and I happened to think about it. But when we head up that hill, you know, sometimes we have a hill that we head up that way down there. But, you know, this thing, you know, you might be sitting up here, but that front is just so light heavy. Because you got the engine on the back end of the axle. Plus you've got weight from the trailer, is if you see right here, you know, that's probably about how much weight you would have, because you'd have some on the back of the axle, some on the front, but that's about how you would have it counteracted. And that adds extra traction to this tires right here. And so that gives you so much traction. So say you're going up the hill on leaves, all of a sudden you run into a patch that doesn't have leaves. You're gonna get a whole lot more traction, and your front end's gonna lift up off the ground. Heading up that hill, we are empty, luckily. And coming back, we're going downhill. So, we don't have that extra traction on the back, but still, coming up that hill, pulling just the trailer, I can just feel the front end just so light heavy. I've gone up it before, where I hit a little stick or something like that, just something small enough to throw the right side tire, left side, or whatever off. And once it connects back to the ground, it pops a wheelie, you know. And you think, holy crud, am I about to flip over on top of this? You know, and it's dangerous. So I would suggest, I mean, if you can, I know you can't, I would suggest a four-wheeler first. If not, you know, a front engine or a lawnmower with the engine in the front. You know, it's something that gives you better traction. This was built to not leave an imprint on the yard when you mow or whatever. And truthfully, I wouldn't suggest them. You know, I love the turning radius, especially in small spaces. But overall, I'd call them, you know, useless. I'd much rather use a normal one. So that's just my little 2 cents. Stay safe with it. If you feel like, you know, I might flip on this or something like that, take the long way. Take another extra half a mile, 5 minutes, whatever, if you need to. But stay safe, you know. If you roll over on yourself and you hurt yourself badly, you know, or just in medical bills and everything else, it'd be worth going that extra time instead of, you know, everything else that could happen. So again, stay safe, please. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. I just thought I need to throw that in there because, you know, it is what it is. You know, we probably should go around the field, but it's already half a mile right now. That'd make it at least a mile and a half to go all the way up there and all the way around and back down on the other side of the hill there. You know, but that would make it at least 1.5 miles, and, you know, I mean, I feel safe enough doing it, but I wouldn't feel safe enough getting anybody else in that seat and doing it. But, you know, I probably should be saying or doing what I'm preaching, but, you know, I just thought I would throw that out there.